Feel your feet hugging earth. Feel your head open to the energy of sky. Feel yourself as a conduit of energy between earth and sky. And inhale. Let your arms begin to slowly rise skyward, reaching the top at the top of your inhale. And then exhale, let them open like wings down. Imagine that your hands are floating in space. Follow your own breath. Inhaling, the hands rise, the shoulders still relaxed. And exhale, invite the arms to open. Stay with whole body breath, breathing like a sleeping baby into the whole torso, into the 3 dimensions of your body. Knees slightly bent so you can't see your toes. Spine long, tailbone grounding, and a hot air balloon lifting you from center palate so the spine is stretched long. We breathe 3-dimensionally into the torso, inviting the lower dantian to expand into the abdomen, into the back body. Imagine that you're drawing chi in from the earth as your arms lift, drawing it through the whole body all the way up into the fingertips. And now pause with your arms to your sides and take the breath the other way, inhaling the arms like wings up. Exhaling the hands down slowly towards earth, breathing at your own pace. Your weight centered over the feet that are hugging earth and drawing energy up as your arms rise up through every cell in the body into the fingertips. Fluid, whole body breath. Drawing the chi through the body to create healing, harmony, to open up any stagnant places in the body. And then pause. Palms facing the lower dantian, elbows slightly open. This is the posture of Wu Ji, boundarylessness. The pores can open, and we can invite this universal energy to flow through us, through each pore, like we're a loosely woven fabric. And then we inhale the arms up in front of us. Now, it's like your arms are creating a circle, but let the elbows rest a little bit down. And as you inhale, let the arms open slightly. And as you exhale, let them close slightly. They inhale and open slightly, and exhale and close slightly. You're centered over the whole sole of your feet hugging earth. And on the inhale, you're drawing energy up through the whole of the body. And on the exhale, releasing stagnant energy back down to compost in the earth. Fluid breath. Three-dimensional breath. Easy movement. And if your shoulders get tight, really try to let the elbows relax. The shoulders relax. The knees are still bent. The spine long. One more. And then let the hands gently rest down and gently roll the shoulders. And let's harmonize the breath today by inhaling. Palms raise slightly, the heart raises slightly. And then we exhale and punch out slightly with the fists. We inhale and open. We exhale and punch out slightly. We inhale and exhale. The knees bend a little bit more. We fold a little bit forward. If you're wanting more energy, you can fold farther. We breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, and in and out and in and out. It's like you're lifting your gaze and heart a little towards the heavens as you expand the heart. Then you're bowing towards earth as you punch the arms out. Conduits of energy between heaven and earth. Feet still really magnetized and connected. And then pause in your Wuji stance. Fluid breath. Whole body expanding on the inhale and relaxing on the exhale. Balanced and centered on your grounded feet. Feel for chi, vibration, heat, and energy in the body. Now, we'll bring one hand for a bone marrow cleanse, doesn't matter which, behind the back to rest, just behind the navel. And the other arm will inhale out to the side. We'll lift upward, upward, upward. And then when it comes to circle overhead, the palm will turn up and we'll press up and straighten the legs and lengthen. And then the palm will turn over, right over that crown point that's open on the head, and rest, feeling for our own energy. Take another fluid inhale. And on the next exhale, let your hands slowly begin to descend, and imagine that you're drawing the healing chi down through the body to cleanse all of your bones. Like the bones are lighting up as the chi flows through them down the body. Imagine it flowing all the way out through the feet. But when the moving hand comes even with the hand on the back, both arms release down. And then we switch. The other hand comes to the back, and the opposite arm floats up out to the side. Up, up, overhead. We push skyward, lengthen the body. And then the palm of the hand comes over this energy center at the crown. We feel for our own chi field. And then we exhale, and the hand comes down slowly, and we take even natural breaths as the hand moves, visualizing all the bones, clearing out any stagnant energy deep into the bone marrow, all the way to the soles of the feet. Both hands release, and we switch again. And we inhale, the arm rises. And we pause at the top. Knees may bend a little more. Palm turns up. We inhale, stretch towards the sky, root into earth. And then we exhale, feeling our own fields. The knees bend slightly, and the hand comes down along the front of the body, cleansing deep into the bone marrow. When the hands are even, we release and switch and inhale the arm out and around and up overhead. And then we turn the palm up and press feet into earth, palm skyward. Turn the palm back around to feel the energy flow through our whole system as the knees bend and we draw chi through the body, feeling it move through the skull, the cervical spine, all the bones of the body, even down through the legs and feet. And then the arms release and we switch one more time. And we inhale and the arm rises. And the palm pushes skyward and we stretch. And then we exhale, turning the palm over. We relax the knees, the elbows. We feel our own energy. And then the hand slowly moves down, energy flowing through the body as it cleanses. All the way down to take stagnant energy as compost into earth. The hands switch. And we in. And the arm rises. And we may exhale and pause. And inhale and stretch. And exhale. Knees bend, we soften, and the chi flows through the body. Let it be a beautiful healing light inside your bones, releasing both arms. Both arms rise together out to the side. Both palms push skyward and turn towards our energy field. And draw the breath through as we breathe evenly. Draw the chi through. Moving at your own pace. Inhaling up when you're ready. Pressing up when you're ready. Turning the palms in to feel your energy fields and letting the chi move clearly through you. No rush. One more time. Pausing in your wuji. Relaxing the shoulders. Relaxing the elbows. Feeling the feet on the floor, the knees bent, the spine long. Feeling the three-dimensional breath into the lower dantian. Can you stay with this three-dimensional breath as the arms circle out and overhead and slowly back down? Breathing into your cycles of life. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Inhaling in And exhaling out. Inhaling through and exhaling through. We switch directions. Feel into the whole sole of the foot, hugging the floor, inviting energy up from earth through the entire body. Inhaling chi up and in and around. Exhaling stagnant energy out. Pausing in Wu Ji, breathing into the back of the lower dantian. Imagine your back expanding like your belly. Feel for it. And then let the elbows come back as the palms turn up and the heart lifts like you're an ocean wave. And let yourself fold over on the exhale and draw in on the inhale. And now the Qigong movements circulate the energy we've invited in. We circulate it, cultivate with it, expand harmony throughout the system. Inhaling, the ocean wave rises, the heart lifts. Exhaling, we curl over, the back of the heart opens. Feeling into the whole body as you move, noticing the body's influence on the breath, on the mind. The breath's influence on body and mind, the mind's influence on body and breath. Like you're a witness watching. Pause again in your Wu Ji. And step one foot slightly in front of the other, and we'll practice emptiness and fullness. So let's lean back onto the back leg. Maybe you come lightly to the toe of the front leg and feel the fullness of the back leg's energy, the emptiness of the front leg, and then roll forward onto the front foot, lifting to the toe of the back foot. And don't completely lose touch with your connection to earth as you roll forward to back with the breath, filling one leg and emptying the other, filling the next leg and emptying the other. Back and forth with your breath. The arms can float how they feel comfortable, how they help you move the chi and recognize fullness and emptiness. As we place weight on one leg, it becomes more yang, it works harder, it heats up. As we release energy from that leg, it becomes lighter, cooler, quieter. Feel the energies change. And then pause on both feet and switch sides. Rolling onto one limb and lightening the other and changing. And perhaps the knees bend and then you rise up like it's a flow still of the ocean wave. Perhaps the arms swing gently back, heart lifts, gaze lifts, but we keep the gaze open towards the whole horizon. It doesn't lock. It takes in as much as it can, even from the periphery. And we feel into filling one leg and emptying the other. We feel into inviting yang and then inviting yang. Fluid breath. And then come back into center. Rest on the full soles of your feet, palms facing your lower dantian. Fluid breath. Feel for any pulses or energy movement in the body. Try to stay with your deep three-dimensional breath. Okay, so today I want to take us from that into a little walking meditation. So you're going to need a little space in your room. And what we'll do is we'll move from one, we can move forward and back as your space provides. So what we're going to do here is bring our hands just a little higher than we had them low, just a little higher up towards our sternum. And you'll step one foot in front of the other and put your weight on the back foot. So same as the previous exercise. The weight, the yang is in the back leg. And then slowly shift and bring the yang into the front leg, the yin into the back leg, and come on to the front leg. But what we're going to watch for is not this kind of up and down. We're going to try to stay level. So the leg in back is bent. We roll forward onto a bent leg in front. We stay at the horizon level. And then we draw the back foot in towards the front foot and just lightly step down. It's like dropping a tiny little post, and then we step that foot forward and we bring the weight onto that foot and lighten the back foot. It's a gentle touch of the toe near the other foot, and then we reach a little bit wide with the heel, and then we roll onto the foot, staying at horizon level with the body. And then we touch the toe, reach the heel, and flow forward. And touch, and reach, and flow, and touch, and reach. When you come to the end of your space, it's just backwards. We touch, we reach back with the toe, we flow back onto the sole, we come back and touch. Remember, the steps do not need to be large, but we want to keep the knees bent and stay low. We never lock the joints, and we touch and step back and roll back. And we take it slow so we can feel the feet move and the energy shift. The elbows are soft so the shoulders aren't overworking. And when we need to, we switch directions again. And we keep the eyes gently on the horizon. So you're stepping a little wide. I'll show it front to back now. You step forward. I'm not coming up by straightening the leg. I'm rolling onto the front foot, tapping, reaching the heel out, and rolling towards the front foot. Tap, reach, roll. And the reason we're not going up and down is because we don't want to disturb the chi that we're beginning to move by going in lots of different directions. And we move slow, and we pay attention. And you could take this outside. You could take the steps smaller. If you feel like you're losing your balance, take the steps smaller. Forward and back, not so much up and down. And then come feet back together and release your arms and come back into your fluid breath. Let your head and shoulders rest back, your tailbone ground. Invite energy up through the soles of your feet and down through the crown of your head. Fluid breath. Now take 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, and let your wings come down to your sides and inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. You can stay on your toe now, or you can let the foot lift off. Yang energy in your standing leg. We float the arms. We let them drift up on the breath and drift down on the breath. It becomes literally a moving meditation. One more inhale, and then land this side. Gently step the other foot forward. Exhale, and inhale, and exhale. Feel the full side of the body, the energized yang, and the lighter, quieter yin. We start to notice how we harmonize the energies. You move with your own breath, not mine. Expansive breath, filling the lower dantian, the field of the elixir. And then we land and we pause. And all of this helps us to build our immune system. We feel the whole flat of the foot on the floor. Fluid breath. We feel the space all around us. And we come into a standing meditation, rooting the feet deep into the earth. We open the arms out, palms out. We let the head rise and rise up into the heavens. And the pores of our skin open so that we're like loosely woven cloth. We let the energy pour through us. And we fill the entire universe with our bodies. Envision your body filling the universe, your hair growing long, your arms growing wide. And then bring your arms down, palms onto the lower dantian, fingers crossing, thumbs right at the navel. Let yourself come back into the seed pod of your own skin and feel the universe that's inside of you. Feel the breath move, the chi move. How we're all a part of something woven together, something much greater. Now, if you're a woman, rest your right hand on your navel, and if you're a man, your left. And very slowly begin to circle your hands. It doesn't matter which direction. Circle them small in by the navel, not hard and deep into the tissue, just barely kind of chafing the skin of the belly. Let the hands circle. We're warming this lower dantian, and let the circles get bigger. And let them go slow as they get bigger so that each circle gets a few rounds. Feel in towards your abdominal center, towards this idea of this being your gravitational center. Let the hands get bigger still and bigger till they're kind of right up under your rib cage and towards the pubic bone of your pelvis, wide at your waist. And then pause up under the sternum and take the massage the other way. This is one way to massage the energy in the lower dantian so there isn't stagnant energy. So we start big this direction and we slowly take the circles smaller, smaller. We don't go too fast. We really pay attention to the sensation, to this idea of moving chi. A lot of us get stagnant chi in our intestines. And we take it until it's a tiny circle around the navel. And then we release the hands and we pause. And now, make gentle fists of your hands so that this thumb finger area come to the back of your kidneys and draw up your lower back and out wide towards the waistline. Come up and wide in circles. Up and wide and down. We're massaging the kidneys now, the back side of the lower dantian. I think they call this the gate of life. So you're massaging your low back, and your circles can get more vigorous and a little faster if you have low back pain. Really good for those of us with low back pain. We draw the energy up, around, and down. You can press how hard it's comfortable in your body. We kind of come up to the ribs and then we go out. We don't go up across the ribs. And we don't really go across the pelvis so much either. It's kind of right in that center area. We may go down onto the sacrum a little bit. Fluid breath still. And then release this massage. So the idea is that we harmonize our own energies. Then we invite chi in. Then we invite the chi to circulate. And then in the end, we massage to again release any stagnant energy, any holding places. So feel into your own body right now. And if you have a sore shoulder, maybe you bring a hand up to massage that shoulder. Maybe you want to do both. If you have sore knees, maybe you bring your hands down. Same idea, circle the hands over the area of the body that needs the chi, the energy, just allowing the heat to come into that part of the body. It brings attention to this part of the body, which may in turn physiologically turn us on to assisting this part of the body. So we pay attention, not in a way that stiffens us and causes more pain, but in a way that's like nourishing, nurturing. And then some people may like to bring the massage to their eyes and may bring the thumb in and just circle here or the forefinger and circle with these knuckles around the bones of the eyes. Just circling. So you decide where in your body you need it. I'm just trying to show you some ideas. I know we've had knee issues, eye issues, shoulder issues in this class. So yeah, fluid movement. You may bring your hand gently to circle the wrist and let the hand just turn inside the circle of the finger and thumb, drawing energy into the wrist. So this has been a gentle Qigong practice today, an awareness building practice. We switch sides. And then we come one more time after the massage to just rest our hands across the lower dantian. Rest our hyoid bone back, a gentle lift to the base of the skull. We come back to three-dimensional breath. And let's take this three-dimensional breath into a little yoga opening, stepping our feet wide, turning the left foot out, lifting the right heel back. Remember, it can be heel to heel alignment or even wider if you have tight hips. And then we float the arms up into star pose. You can stop in any rendition of the poses that we do. Now, can you relax again the shoulders away from the skull and bend the left knee over the second metatarsal. Turning the palms up, we inhale. And we exhale energy down through the body. And we let the arms open and we inhale. In yoga, we draw prana through the body. 72,000 rivers carry the prana to circulate throughout the body in the yogic system. Again, we invite these rivers to open with the breath. And bring the left hand to the left femur, right arm alongside the ear for Parsvottanasana prep. Broad across the shoulder girdle, long in the neck. We're like a starfish reaching out. We can stay here or float down onto the forearm. Wherever we are, we want to still be able to bring in that three-dimensional breath. Some of us may like to bow towards earth. Grounding from the pelvis into each foot. Three-dimensional breath, expanding the whole circle of the lowest ribs. We may want to press into the left forearm, lift the right shoulder, and open the heart towards the sky. Feel the three-dimensional breath there and come back to neutral and perhaps rainbow, the right side body over the lifting left side. Invite the prana and the breath to lift the left side the right side like it's a parachute. Relax over the breath. And then come long again in the spine, the pelvic floor gently lifting to support you as you float back up to warrior two. Right fingertips lightly touching the back leg, left palm up. Can you stay broad across the shoulder girdle and bring the Qigong into the yoga? Let yourself find a posture where you can breathe three-dimensionally and relax. Don't force into the hardest position where you become stiff. We're learning from the Qigong to be open in our yoga poses. And then we straighten the front leg and gently cartwheel into a high triangle pose. Palm facing forward. You can stay as high as is good in your spine or go as low. Try not to lock either knee. Another thing we learn from Qigong is we don't want to lock the joints. That will stagnate the energy. Let the hyoid bone rest back. Fluid breath into the body. And float back up. Turning the left leg in and the right leg out, open. Bending into your Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2 pose. Let the spine be upright like it was in the Qigong postures. The front knee can bend as long as it's comfortable. We ground the outer heel of the left foot and lift the left foot's inner arch so we don't collapse that inner leg and collapse into that back hip. Three-dimensional breath. Let's inhale now and reach forward. Draw the breath into the heart. Exhale. Let energy go out from us. We inhale, draw in, and exhale, release out. Sometimes we might release out with a sigh to release tension that's in the mind, heart, or body. And then we pause in our warrior two again and bring the right hand to the femur bone, left arm alongside the ear, and we become that stretching starfish. Check in that your knee joints, your back knees aren't hyperextending. And then perhaps float lower, perhaps not. Three-dimensional breath. Can you soften into the posture? Don't overwork it. So we want to learn to use the energy where and when needed, but not force ourselves to work in ways we don't need to. So the hands are open, but they're not forced open. The shoulders aren't gripping. The neck is long, and perhaps we bow towards earth. We keep breathing three-dimensionally into the pose. And perhaps we press into the right forearm and lift across the shoulder girdle, lifting the heart. Fluid breath into the body, feeding and nourishing all three dantians, all of the yoga koshas. And then we may come back to neutral. Remember, you can stop in any position and parachute our body, our left side body over the right, and breathe in to lift that left side body and relax it, stretching the sides open. And then we float back up to Vira 2 and land our left fingertips lightly on the back leg, broad across the shoulders. We stay with the fluid breath, and we don't go so far that we begin gripping. We learn to watch for freedom in the pose, for ease. And then we float back up, straightening the front leg and cartwheel gently towards Trikonasana. And we pause wherever we need to have the energy flow easily through the pose, making sure we're not hyperextending knees. We're not locking our pelvis. We're long in the spine. And then we float back up and turn the right leg in and step together and pause in our mountain pose. Fluid breath. And we take a moment in mountain to be in a standing shavasana. We let the shoulders release and the jaw and the eyes. The longer I teach these movement practices, the more I believe what we really need is a letting go of the tension we overhold in the body. My question is, how much movement do I have to give people to help them tune in to no movement? Tune in to the release from constant doing into recognizing our own being. So try to let each vertebrae rest away from the other, down from the skull. Let your shoulder girdle rest open and your humerus bones hang away from the shoulder girdle. Let each bone of your fingers relax into the hug of gravity. Find those places where you hold tension in your body and see if you can invite them to ease. Come back to this idea of the breath moving through that easily woven fabric. See if you can let stagnant energy, stiffness, tension, solidified thoughts release a little, become more fluid. Okay, let's come down to the floor. If you have bolsters, you can use them. If not, you don't need them necessarily. If you do have a kyphotic curled spine forward, you may want to be up on a lift. You could also use a big couch pillow or some blocks with a blanket over them. But we're going to come to laying on our bellies. And this is like Salambhasana work, Sphinx work, Cobra work, and I'll do it step by step so you can choose how far you want to go. So lengthen your spine out and rest your forehead on the backs of your hands. If you're on a bolster, rest your forehead on the block in front of the bolster and have your low ribs supported by the bolster. Rest here with your belly on the floor and breathe deep into the lower dantian. Breathe so that the back ribs rise. Breathe a gentle massage into the back kidneys, into the front abdomen. This is a really good position to work on breathing deeper into the body. You can stay here or you can press your forearms down into the ground and lift your head. Invite the breath deep into the body, but also to expand the rib cage. Relax on the exhales and feel the letting go of the breath. You can stay in either of these positions or open your arms forward and be on your forearms, breathing into Sphinx pose. Still invite the breath deep into the belly, deep into the back and the side waists. Right now you are lengthening the front of the spine, the psoas, reach your tailbone for your heels. Even if you still have your forehead on your hands, you're lengthening the psoas pathway by being on the front body here. Fluid breath. Reach your tailbone for your heels. Still invite the breath deep into the torso. If you reach your tailbone long for the heels and you ground your pubic bone, you're activating your core. Keep filling the lower abdomen and the rib cage. You can stay with this breath, or you can release your forehead back towards the floor block. Bring your hands to your sides, palms down, thumbs out, and inhale. Lift your heart, the heads of your arm bones, your hyoid bone, your head, your hands, your feet, and breathe into Salambhasana, strengthening your back body. Can you still invite the breath deep into the abdomen and back? Notice how you can breathe your sideways wide here. We're strengthening the back body. Really try to keep the collarbones broad and open, the head of the arm bones lifted. And then exhale. Rest your forehead back on the backs of your hands. Let go. Relax into the hug of gravity. One more time. Lift to the forearms. Feel the breath. Perhaps lift to your Sphinx pose. Tailbone reaches for the heels, pubic bone roots, lifted energy under the navel and spine. Fluid breath. In Qigong, they call it all body breathing, full body breath. In Pilates, it's a cleansing breath. In yoga, it's a full yogic breath. We can stay here, exhale back down, bring the palms down by the hips, down to the floor, thumbs out, and inhale up into your Salambhasana again. Strengthening the back body, shoulders are broad, neck long out of the shoulder girdle. See if you can feel a lift to the legs. Can you breathe length to the spine, length to the torso, width to the torso? Can you feel the breath? And then exhale, hands under your shoulders, float up into tabletop. And inhale into a cow. And exhale into a cat, pressing your hands away from your knees. Hold the cat and take some deep breaths into the back body. Relax your sit bones away from your shoulders. Relax your shoulders away from your pelvis. Relax the head. Let the breath parachute up and lift the back ribs open. Lengthen the lumbar spine. And then inhale, float through to your cow. Activate Uddiyana Bandha to support the front of the spine. Reach your sit bones away from your shoulders, the skull away from your shoulders. Pause here and feel your breath. And then come to a neutral spine and take your left toes behind you, your right fingertips forward. Check in with your left hand, fingers evenly spread, that palm really grounded, and then float your right hand and left foot up. Pause in this balance. You're strengthening the multifidi along your spine. You're strengthening the abdominal core, your myofascial slings. Exhale, elbow towards knee if you'd like, and inhale, open, and exhale, and inhale. Don't throw yourself up into a back bend. Try to lengthen, top of head to tailbone. Think of breathing space between the fluid spine, between the vertebrae of a fluid spine. One more exhale, and inhale, open, and pause. You can stay here in the pause, or you can open your elbow into a kind of cactus arm or goalpost arm, and you can open your leg into doggy at the fire hydrants, and then stretch long, and bend, and stretch, and bend, and stretch, and pause, and lower your hand in your shin, and inhale, lift the heart, lift your sit bones, cow. Exhale, cat, and pause. Breathe deep into the back body. Come back to neutral and take your left hand forward, your right leg back, and float up. And pause. You can stay here working on balance. Great for your core and your multifidi, or you can bring your elbow and knee towards each other under the body and stretch back out. Exhaling, elbow towards knee, inhaling long, keeping the back of the neck long. There's so much good strengthening work happening in this exercise. Fluid breath. And then come back out and pause. You can stay in the pause, or you can bend your elbow towards your side so that your humerus bone is out from the shoulder, and the leg in and stretch them out and in, out, in. Stay with your breath, inhaling one direction, exhaling the other, and come back out and release. In your tabletop, come into one more cow. Pause there, stretching your sit bones away from your shoulders, stretching your skull away from your shoulders. And then exhale up into cat and breathe, breathe between the back ribs. Breathe the vertebrae apart from each other in the low back. And then slowly take your sit bones towards your heels. Take your knees wide and come into a child's pose. Your arms can rest beside you. Here, breathe into your belly, into your side waist, into your back. Invite this breath deep into the lower dantian, to the field of the elixir. Breathe the breath in to your whole circuitry, your entire immune and endocrine systems. Breathe the breath into those 72,000 rivers of energy that run through the body. And then float yourself up and roll yourself over. Please have a block or both blocks nearby. I love using two if you have them. If you don't have a block, you could use your bolster. And I know you all have guests and you may not have yoga props there, Amy and Chamba. We're just going to lift into a supported bridge. So see if you can figure out how to do that. One block is totally fine per person. Draw your blocks under on low so they're right under your sacrum and you're in a bridge pose. Let your forearms, or your humerus bones rather, come down beside your torso with a little space so your rib cage can expand, palms facing each other. And press down into the arms, press into the feet, and lift the pelvis slightly off your blocks if you can. Pause there in a lifted active bridge. Fluid breath into the body. And then lower your pelvis back onto the block. Draw the right knee into the chest and lift the right foot skyward. Point and flex the foot. Now, if you're at the end of your day, you need more relaxation, just stay with your pelvis on the block. If you want a little more active practice, press into the arms, press into the foot, and lift your pelvis slightly off the blocks. Fluid breath. And release. Bend the knee, bring the foot to the floor, and switch sides. If pointing the toe skyward is challenging for you, let the knee point skyward. That's fine too. As you're ready, press evenly into the humerus bones and the foot and lift the pelvis. Fluid breath. Broad across your shoulders, even in your arms. Let your arms work and see how that takes pressure off the working pelvis and leg. And release the foot. Now, if you'd like to, come higher to the middle height of the block. Otherwise, stay on low. And rest your hands right on your pelvis, right on the kind of pelvic bones. Breathe in between the pelvic bones into the low abdomen. Feel the belly expand. Feel for breath in the back body, expanding away from the front body. Breathing as much as you can through your nostrils. Let's float one leg into tabletop, the other to follow it, and lift both legs towards the sky. The knees can rest in towards your chest. The arms can rest on the floor. Relax the toes. Relax across the shoulders. Relax the jaw. Fluid breath. Relaxing on the exhales. Relaxing the eyes, the forehead, the jaw. Letting yourself become more and more like that sleeping child, whole body breathing, with the added benefit of releasing blood and lymph from the legs back towards the torso. Can you feel chi moving inside of your body? Can you relax open and allow the universal chi, the prana, to flow through you? You can stay here or take the left leg long and hug the right knee in. Fluid breath. And then draw the extended leg in towards the chest, lengthen the other leg out, and rest into the stretch, into your full body breath. And then draw the leg in, release the other leg into your bridge. Lift up off your props, move them out of the way. And exhale, lower your pelvis to just slightly touch the floor, and inhale, let it lift. And exhale, smoothly lower, and inhale, lift. And let your pelvis be a kite riding the wind. Let the wind move through the whole universe of your body. Release stagnation on the exhales. Invite fluid movement on the inhales. And then inhale, float up. Release your arms, palms up, and rest. And then float your pelvis back to earth. Nodding tailbone towards earth and then tailbone towards sky. Accentuate your lumbar curve and then relax it. Come into your neutral. Press into your right foot. Take the right knee forward. Lift the right hip. Release it down. Press into the left foot. Take the left knee forward. Lift the left hip. Somatic walking. Releasing the low back. Fluid breath. Fluid movement. Relaxing the muscles of your face, your temples, your nasal passages. Relaxing the jaw and the base of the skull as you rock your pelvis. Let your arms really relax and sink into the hug of gravity as you rock your pelvis. And then come back to stillness with the pelvis. Walk your feet wide, let your knees gently fall together. Stay for a moment here with the breath. And then walk the soles of your feet together. Let your knees open wide. Relax the base of your skull and shoulders. Relax the whole length of your arm and your palms. See if you can relax the hips towards opening. Breathe deep into the belly. Let go stiffness and tension on the exhales. And then exhale the knees back together. One more round of somatic walking. And then you can move into your chosen Shavasana. Whether that's knees over a bolster, or legs up a wall, or your calves onto a piece of furniture, or just laying down on your backside, hearts open towards the sky. When you come into your resting position, feel for the chi moving through your body. Perhaps the energy has washed through the mind, bringing calmness there. And as you rest deeply, remember that you're opening to harmonizing the energy inside the universe of your own body, mind, and heart. Can your spirit observe here? Observe the life force energy inside you. As you observe, if you feel places where your fabric is still knotted, breathe into those places and see if you can unravel the knots. relaxing deeply on the exhales. Relaxing into the flow of energy inside you. The flow of energy all around you, moving through you. Feel into your body for any gentle tingling sensation, for a sense of expansiveness. Feel for a live warmth that permeates the body. Remember, there are endless depths to your body and being that you can explore. And this practice takes patience. Now draw the breath deep into your fingers and toes again. If your body feels like sighing a few exhales, then do so. Perhaps you want to circle your wrists and your ankles, or stretch in whatever way feels good to you. Invite the breath to deepen and notice if you're more open in the body for the breath now. And then gently roll yourselves over and let yourself rest for a few moments on one side, integrating anything you learned from yourself during the practice today. And then gently bring yourselves up to a comfortable seat. can turn on your videos if you'd like to. And bring your hands up to your heart. Let's bow our heads. Let's bow to all the teachers that have come before us, all the meditation guides, all of our mentors that have helped us get to this place and this practice today. And then let's bow towards our intuition and our inner guide. May we be more in touch and in tune. Namaste. And thank you for coming to practice.